Welcome back to Game Gang.
Hello, everyone.
This
My name
episode,
is Dr. Phil.
I'm going to talk about how I was on Dr. Phil as a teenager. So...
You're still a teenager.
I'm kind of. I'm an adult. I'm 18. I'm 19. Sorry. I'm almost 20. Almost 20.
Almost the big 2-0.
Where the fuck do I go? Oh, this thing. Okay. Let me just... I gotta concentrate. Yeah. Okay, so, I haven't said much about my personal life on here, but, I'm a musician. I went to college for a year for music. I changed my major then to economics. Switched schools, went to New York City. Blah, blah, blah.
You're giving out a lot of information, yeah.
Whatever. Everybody lives in New York City. No, don't live. And, so, I started... My first instrument was upright bass. In second grade, I played in the school orchestra.
No way, really?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Played in the school orchestra. I didn't care for it much. It was like twice my size back then. And sorry, my dog's like I don't know what he's doing.
He's like freaking out. He's like trying to.
He's very excited.
Like sniffing the fan. Anyway.
So I didn't really care for that. So I tried electric bass. So I took lessons for I don't know like 4 months, and I just gave it up. But I was pretty good at it. So I gave it up. And then my sister took guitar lessons for a couple months, but she didn't care for it. She was more into sports, which I was too. I played a lot of sports, but so eventually her guitar just laid around the house for like a year, and eventually I just picked it up, and I was just good at it. I just knew like pretty much immediately like what notes were where and how to get what I wanted to come from it. So I taught myself for about a year and a half. And then I started taking lessons, and then I joined what's called School of Rock, where I met Nikki also. And that was pretty cool. I did my first, well, no, my first gig I did with a shitty little band, but I did my first.
With who? Oh, wait.
Just, it doesn't matter. It was a one-time thing. And so I did like my first, I got my experience from playing shows from School of Rock, which is something good I can say about it, I guess. And I learned a lot too. So, oh my god.
Oh.
So, eventually I put my own band together, and we got pretty big around my hometown and the surrounding areas and counties and whatnot in Pennsylvania. And it was called Peacekeeper. And eventually Peacekeeper, we got, well, I don't know how, but we played pretty like 4 times a week. We got to playing at a place called Croc Rock, which is a big venue, and we were like a favorite there and whatever. So eventually, somehow, Dr. Phil's people, not Dr. Phil himself, but Dr. Phil's people got our contact info, and the contact said, we want you on the show, because it's like a 15-year-old who could, you know, shred on. I don't want to be like that guy, but I was a very good child. I was a child prodigy at guitar. And as a 15-year-old shredding on guitar, it's a cool gimmick to put on your show to get more views, I guess. So they were like, we want to put you on the show. And Anthony, that's me, and one other person can come to California to be on the show. So my mom went. And they said, but we can't just have you on the show to play guitar. We need to give you a problem. So is there any problem?
Dr. Phil loves problems.
But is there any problem we can talk about? And I said, well, no, not really. So they said, well, think of a good idea for a problem, like I don't know, you don't like practicing, or like somebody doesn't like your music. So we ended up
What?
Like a family member. So we ended up So they were really like, they didn't tell us to make up a story, but they were like, just think of something, you know? So that's what we did. So we came up with a story that my mom didn't like the music that I chose to play.
Which is completely untrue.
Yeah. So I flew out in this. Okay, so at the airport, the plane was full.
Oh
but
my God.
somehow,
I remember this.
Dr. Phil's people booted someone off the plane
You're
or something.
a horrible person.
It's not my choice. I didn't want to do it. I mean,
Someone
I was too young.
probably visiting their dying grandmother.
It doesn't matter. Somehow, Dr. Phil got his tickets on that plane. Not Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil's like, hey, United Airlines,
We're talking
can you,
about the Dr. Phil conglomerate.
Shit, what's this called? Big Bag Bugaboom. The Dr. Phil conglomerate, yes. Yeah, so Dr. Phil got us plane tickets. Not first class, but not complaining. It's a cool experience. And went
never
out to
been on a plane.
I don't know, maybe San Francisco. I couldn't tell you. I was too young. But we stayed in this first class hotel, free room service. It was really nice. And yeah, and then we went on the show the next day. We were in I went to a little dressing room, and they had a Dr. Phil mug for me and my mom, and a Dr. Phil stress ball in the shape of a heart for me and my mom. And yeah.
We regularly use these things.
And they did my makeup, and they did I don't know what the hell they did. But
You wore makeup.
What?
They didn't do your hair? You had to do your
No,
own
they
hair?
did my hair a little bit, but they just wanted it to stay in place. They just didn't, you know. But it looked the same. So I went on the show, and you know, I was like 14, 15, you know, like 14 or 15. So I don't really remember much of this, but my mom was like freaking out, but I was totally calm. It did not even really hit me that I was, because when you're on a plane, it's different when you're driving. When you're on a plane, you don't really realize how far away from home you are. It's just like when I got off the plane, I was like, oh, it's hot now. But it didn't really click with me that I was like thousands of miles away from home. So, and plus I was too young to really, you know.
But you've been lots of places that are far away from home, so...
Yeah, but everywhere you go, for me at least, I never really feel like I've been very far from home. Maybe that's because my home is a very...
And everywhere you went with your family.
It's got both suburban and rural and urban in it, so it's kind of like I've got a little bit of everything. So wherever I go, I can kind of feel like I'm at home a little bit. Yeah, but I went and we went on the show, and Dr. Phil looked like a fucking corpse because all his makeup was cracking and stuff because the lights were hot, and he just looked so fucking scary. That's all I remember. And we talked for a little bit, and I don't remember what we talked about. Probably something stupid because I was an idiot and I was like 14. And then he said, "Why don't you give us a minute of your best wailing?" And I remember he said that.
No. 60 seconds.
60 seconds.
Specifically.
The only reason I remember that is because somebody made a YouTube poop of me. Like, I mean, my solo was terrible to begin with because I was a little nervous, and I was 14, not the best guitar player in the world. So it wasn't a very good solo to begin with. And I thought I was going to be going, because we had a little rehearsal beforehand.
Right.
So I was under the impression he had a mic out for me for singing, because I sing.
Oh, so you thought you were
and
going to
my
do
guitar.
a song.
So I thought he was going to make me do a song. So I had
Right.
a little bit of a song prepared. But then he was like, just play for 60 seconds. Like, well, I don't have anything prepared. So I was nervous and I was on my feet. And not justifying me being a crappy guitar player at that point in my life, but whatever. So I gave him 60 seconds of mediocre wailing. And somebody on YouTube took that video of me and dubbed over it with like terrible guitar playing, which wasn't good to begin with, but it was really funny. And that's the only reason I know he said that. But weird experience, but it was good. Good, you know. It was fun. Not many people get to do that at my age anyway, So yeah,
So good job.
it's fun. So all you need to know from that story is, well, it makes you question how much of Dr. Phil is authentic, how much of the problems.
Well, this started because I knew that this happened, and I was watching Dr. Phil, and there was this story, and it didn't really seem right. I didn't really seem very real, and I was like, this is probably fake. Most likely,
I don't know.
Fake.
They do. I'm positive they have real stories on there and stuff, but
Well,
it's
yeah,
just
a few.
you know.
Probably like one per episode.
No, I'm sure it's.
I
I'm sure I was
know.
like a rare. I don't know. I really could not
Like,
be
how
sure.
do they find these people anyway? Do they reach out to Dr. Phil and they're like, Dr. Phil, help
I
me?
know people. Yeah, I know people do that. Yeah, they send in videos and stuff.
Dr. Phil, could you help us get our gaming channel to be really famous? Come on.
We
Don't you
just
miss
want to make
Anthony?
people laugh, and you.
Don't you miss Anthony's wailing?
You ruined my life.
What?
No, I met even in high school. I was like just sitting by myself in the cafeteria, just like waiting for somebody to come sit with me. This kid comes up to me and goes, "Were you and Dr. Phil?" I was like,
Oh, holy
first of all,
shit.
why the fuck are you like? You're like 12. Why are you watching Dr. Phil? But I was like, yeah. That's the only time anybody's ever come up to me and said anything about it. But he's like, "Oh, weren't you and Dr. Phil?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Right on, man."
It's so funny.
So funny. Yeah. So if you
It's
can
on
find
right when you
it,
come out-
if you can
come out of
find it,
school.
it's like probably called like Guitar Kid or something. I have not watched the episode. I refuse. I don't like watching myself really.
If you type in 60 seconds of your best wail, and I guarantee it'll
Yeah, probably. But it's pretty bad. I'm just warning you if you're gonna watch it. So I might link it in the description just to torture myself there. I keep hitting the mic stand with the Wii remote. I'm sorry. Come on, hit the fucking thing.
You have to go on a different one. You have to jump on that. Okay, we're not.
Whoa! Do you see that shit? Where's the last fucking block? Gay Lagoon. Yeah, sorry, I just...
Sorry, I'm really concentrating with you for no reason. I don't have to. I'm not doing anything. I'll tell a joke.
Okay. 30 seconds. You want to wait till next time?
No, we'll end it with a joke.
All right.
Okay. So. I'm sorry, I have to gather my thoughts. What's
you
the
mean
difference?
look at your phone for the joke?
What's the difference between a piano, tuna fish, and a tub of glue?
I really got to think about this. A piano, tuna fish, and a tub of glue. I know it's something stupid, so I'm not going to think of it. What is it?
You can tune a piano, but you can't piano a tuna.
You say glue?
I knew you'd get stuck on that.
I fucking hate everything. I'm done.
Yes!
Next time on Game Gang, I'm going to tell the story about how I almost got arrested. So.
Me too.
Woo!
Next time on Glue Gang.